Zari, you must be kidding. You must be joking. You have to be joking, baby. Hi everyone, it's Catchy, aka OBiGem. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, please do not forget to hit the subscribe button. Also the notification bell to be notified of all future videos. And if you like what you see, please do hit the like button so I know to keep making content like this. So we're back with another episode of Not So Berry. And as always, we are here with Zari. So he is on his property right now. I know at the end of the last episode, I showed you guys that he was renting a trailer that is just across the way. So his house, he's at his house now, and the trailer that he's renting is over in this trailer park over here. So it's not too far away. He just wanted somewhere close by that he could stay, shower, eat, and have all his amenities while he's still kind of like completing out this house. However, with the money that Sienna gave him last episode, he's actually been able to get a lot of work done on the house. So as you can see, Zari has a fully furnished living room now, which I am so proud of myself for the work I did in here. You guys, it's been a journey getting this house furnished and filled in. I've never built a house this big before, so it's literally been like it's been a lot to try and fill in all the empty space because I'm used to having like houses. Normally my houses are about like that big, and this house is like 3 times the size of that, and it has a second floor, so it's a journey. So we're gonna continue to keep working on it bit by bit. As you can see, I just transferred some more funds into Zari's account from his SMB bank account. That was the money that Sienna gave to him. We kind of blew through most of it, though. I'm going to be honest. We only have like about $1,000 left in the bank. I just had to transfer in this $1,000, so he had a little bit more money in his, bank so he could eat and whatnot. But, Zari's going to have to start hustling and working to finish furnishing this. But as you see, this is the living room, dining room. I have the kitchen fully furnished over here. And, I do have a laundry room, and it's mostly done. I just ran out of money to put wallpaper in, so I might actually change out the wood floor to tile. We'll just see. But as you can see, this room's empty, that room's empty, and then when we go up to the second floor, empty, empty, and empty. I did mostly finish his bedroom and his ensuite bathroom, as well as his walk-in closet. I am super proud of, but and, there's still a whole lot of work to be done. As you can see, his room's pretty empty looking. It's not a lot of decoration going on here. Hopefully, as he makes more money, I can make this room feel a lot more lived in. And, as he grows his family, I do essentially want to continue, filling in these bedrooms. Like, this is supposed to be an upstairs bathroom, but as you can see, this thing doesn't even have tiles on the floor. So we've got a lot going on. I'm going to go ahead and have Zari, because I did make this little shed over here for his rocket. He did start working on it. He's very hungry, but we're going to go ahead and pretend that he went and, texted Sienna and said, Mom, you guys can come over for Winterfest. You said you wanted to hang out with me and all of that and spend as much time together, kind of like rebuild our relationship together. So yeah, why don't you and Julien come out and we could do Winterfest here, because Sienna's been kind of bugging him to, you know what? Let's get Zari into his working on his rocket outfit. Yes, I did give him a working on his rocket outfit because, I love our baby boy Zari, so we're going to go ahead and change that. But yeah, how Sienna has been wanting to repair or fix or forge a better bond with Zari since she spent most of her life focused on herself. So she's like, you know what, baby boy, I would have preferred you come to Newcrest because, your house isn't finished. And he's like, I know, Mom, but I've been working on it, and it's getting there. Just you and Julien come over. You can prepare Winterfest dinner at my place, and you can let me know what you think of it if you want to add whatnot. She's like, is this your way of saying you need more money, baby? And she's like, no, Mom, I can accumulate my own funds. I'm just want you to take a look at it and see, what else you think it needs. And then, if you wanted to make Winterfest dinner, I would appreciate that because, I don't really know how to cook. Look at him. Isn't he so cute? We love to see him. But we're going to go ahead and have Sienna and Julien come over, and Sienna's going to make the Winterfest feast. So the family has all sat down for Winterfest dinner. Sienna made a beautiful spread of a stuffed turkey, and because Sienna's last, well, this will probably be the last holiday family dinner she had, I did decide to let them have the red nectar instead of the yellow nectar as Sienna's last hurrah. You know, I can't let my girl go off into, you know, the great beyond without having everything. You know, I'm gonna miss her, so we're gonna let her have a red nectar, even though we probably should have the yellow nectar because this is Zari's house and Zari's first holiday on his own. But Zari is, you know, chatting up with his mom. She was just checking in with him and said, you know, how are you, baby? I did take a look around the house, and, you know, it looks pretty good. You know, so far everything looks like you are getting into order. Your kitchen is really cute. This dining room, I mean, we didn't even have a dining room at the house. And he's like, yeah, Mom, you know, I want it to be really nice for my eventual family. And she's like, well, I think you're doing a great job, honey. You just need to finish the rest of the rooms. You know, this is like a large house. I feel like this is going to be a big project. And Zari's like, I know, Mom, but I feel like I'm up for it. I'm excited for it. And I'm glad that you like what I've done so far. And she's like, that's great, honey. And she's like, and, you know, just so you know, because Winterfest, I do have another gift for you. And Zari's like, Mom, I told you I don't want any money. And she's like, Zari, baby, it's not money. It's something else. So Zari says, you know, I guess I'm looking forward to it then, you know, whatever you have in store for me. And she's like, you're going to love it, I promise. And he's like, you know what, Mom, though, you know, while we're on the subject of, you know, presents, I actually have something I wanted to share with you. It's a little bit of a present, I think. I mean, I'm not sure how you're going to feel about it, but I do have to talk to you about it. And she's like, well, you know, I love presents, so, you know, if it's a present, I'm sure I'll love it, honey. So why don't we give each other our gifts, you know, at the same time later after dinner? And Zari's like, sure, let's, you know, we could do that. We could try that out. So Zari's a little bit nervous because Zari's gift for Sienna is he's wanting to tell her today about how he's expecting a child with Arlene. So obviously this is super messy because Arlene was his stepsister, and Sienna has not really been any the wiser to what's been going on between him and Arlene. So I don't know how she's going to take this, but at the same time, this will be her first grandchild. So, you know, it could go either way. And, you know, at the end of the day, Zari's not the type of person who likes to, you know, pussyfoot around subjects. He's like, you know, I gotta tell her. So I'm going to go ahead and just tell her. And hopefully she'll be okay with it. And we'll just go from there, I guess. So Winterfest dinner is pretty much all eaten up. So Zari went and said, you know, Mom, let's go ahead and do this gift exchange now. He didn't really have a whole lot. He didn't really have a whole lot of time to find her something. So he's actually giving her a time capsule right now. He's all like, I hope you like it, Mom. I didn't have a whole lot of extra money this year, but I just hope you appreciate it. And I don't know how Sienna's gonna feel about it. You know, she's materialistic. She's like, "Oh, baby, that's swell, I guess." She's like, "What am I supposed to do with this?" And she's like, "I'm glad you like it, Mom. You know, I found it, and I thought you might like it. So, you know, that's your gift, but it's not your only gift. I got something else for you." And she's like, "Well, that's great, but let me give you my gift to you first." So Sienna says, "Sorry, you know, I was thinking about how you're on your own now in your own little house. Well, I mean, it's not so little, it's humongous, but you're in your own place now. You know, you started your career, you've really started your life, and it really had me really getting nostalgic about when I first started out on my own in my own place and what that came with." And so Sienna tells Zari, she's like, you know, before we moved to Newcrest, I did end up moving out of your granddad's house early as a teenager, and right before I left, your grandmother ended up giving me a special gift, and I was thinking about that today, and I wanted to give you a gift of the same accord. And Zari's like confused. He's all like, "Oh, I mean, what's that about? Like, you never actually really talked a whole lot about when you moved out and were living on your own as a teenager. What's going on, Mom? What's in the box? And she's like, like, just go ahead and open it and you'll see for yourself. I hope you like it. And I hope that this present, I hate to be sentimental like this, Zari, but there's no getting around the fact that your old mom is, she's no spring chicken anymore. I'm not gonna be around for very much longer. But, after I move on, I want you to still feel like you have somebody in this world. I know that for you, making friends and, having people in your life has been a challenge. So I hope that this gift gives you a bit of a leg up in that department. So Zari's already pretty curious about what that means because, Zari has always been a loner, and, one of his things that he wants to kind of overcome and this point in his life is making new friends. He's hoping that those new friends will be, alien friends, but he's curious to see how this gift is going to kind of fill that gap as far as what his mom wants him to have, someone in his corner for, when she's not around anymore. Oh. So as you can see, the gift that Sienna gave to Zareen was this little Havanese dog. So you might have been able to guess this already because I kind of hinted enough about, when she left to live on her own as a teenager, her getting a gift from Nora as, companionship while she starts her life on her own. And Sienna wanted to offer that same level of companionship to Zareen as he is in this new place trying to make friends. She's like, let me make this a little bit easier on him and have him have a companion there for him as he kind of figures that part out. Plus, Sienna is thinking ahead to the point where she's realizing she doesn't have a whole lot of time left and she doesn't want Zari to be alone and lonely after she's gone. So she got him this little Havanese dog. His name is Zeke and he is so sweet. I'm going to go ahead and drop the deets on the screen right now from who I got it from on the gallery. This person makes the most detailed dogs. It's like insane. I don't even know how I found them. And when I found them, I looked through like a bunch of their dogs and I'm like, look how detailed this is. It's so cute. And I know you guys are probably already thinking, oh, like, isn't that like pug owned? Pug owned does make very detailed pets, but this is actually not pug owned. This is a different creator, and I hope you guys kind of like check them out because their pets are kind of like next level. Look at him, he is so cute. But Zari's like, oh wow, Mom, like I wasn't expecting you to get me a dog. This is great. He's kind of adorable. She's like, yeah, I figured that you would like him. It kind of takes me back to when I was a teenager, and my mom gave me Red Bell. And then Red Bell ended up having those puppies, and we had Red Bell, Cupid, and Velvet, and I'm getting so nostalgic thinking of my dear old dogs that have passed, and I miss them. He's like, I know, Mom. And she's like, but I'm just thinking ahead. I want you to have, some sort of companionship till you are able to make more friends. And of course, I'm not long for this world, son. And so I was like, Mom, don't say that. You still have plenty of time. You're not that old. You've always been young at heart. And she's like, I know, Zari, but I'm just being realistic here. I want you to have something and someone after I've, passed on. And he's like, well, I mean, I don't really want to dwell on that, but I think this is actually a good time for me to tell you that thing. And she's like, oh, right, the other part of my present. So Zari's going to go ahead and share the news. So Zari decided to sit back down at the table with his mom. He's like, maybe we should sit for this. And that kind of put Sienna on high alert. She's like, okay, what's going on, baby? Like, what's this news? I figured it was good news since she said it was partly a Winterfest present. And Zari's like, I mean, yeah. And he's like, well, it's funny you mentioned this whole thing about, not long for this world and life and whatnot. So now Sienna is confused. She's like, baby, did somebody die or something? What are you talking about? Not long for this world. You said this was a present, right? And Zari's like, yeah, Mom. So here's the thing. I'm not explaining this right, but And I'm just gonna cut straight to the chase. So I'm expecting a baby, and Sienna's like, What?" And he's like, "I mean, I'm expecting a child. Did you hear me?" And Sienna's like, "Baby, I'm confused. You're expecting a child? Is that what you're expecting a baby? You're having a baby?" And Zari's like, "Yeah, mom, I'm having a baby." And Cena's like, I don't, I mean, I'm confused though. Like, who is this baby from? Like, you said you're expecting a child. I didn't even think you were dating anybody, baby. Like, are you seeing somebody that you didn't tell me about? Like, who you're gonna have to connect some more dots for me. And Zari's like, well, I kind of was seeing somebody. It's not really a thing anymore, but it was for a minute. It was kind of a little bit of a whirlwind romance, and I guess we weren't really all that careful, and now we're about to have a baby, and so you're about to be a grandma. Happy Winterfest. And so she was like, I mean, that's nice, honey, that I'm gonna be a grandmother, I guess, but that doesn't really answer the question I had, which is, who is the mother of your child? You said you had a whirlwind romance that, was quick and whatnot. But again, I don't remember you ever telling me you had a girlfriend. Who is this girl? And Julien came in right as Zari was sharing that he's expecting a baby. And so in the back of Julian's mind, and if you guys watched my stream, because I did stream a little bit of Not So Berry Yellow Gen. It was just like one episode, and it was for Sienna's birthday. I meant to link that in the last episode. I gotta fix that, but I will link it here if you guys want to rewatch that stream playthrough, because it provides a little bit of context here. But it's taking his mind back to that day that Sienna aged up to an elder, and he's saying that he's expecting a child right now, and nobody seems to know who Zari has been seeing. But I did get like a weird vibe that day when I came into his room and he was in there with Arlene. And I mean, I didn't see them do anything, but there seemed to be something else going on, something deeper going on. So he's like thinking back to that day, but he's also wanting to not think it's that. And he's like, well, I mean, that was forever ago. There's no way that Arlene could be the mother of his child that he's expecting. It could be literally any girl. So he's like, he has like a kind of queasy feeling in his stomach about it now, but he's just wanting to sit down and think about it. So Sienna's like, yeah, go ahead, baby, explain to me what's going on. Like, who is the mother of your child you're expecting? And he's like, well, mom, that's kind of the hard part. And he's all like, don't be mad, okay? But, and she's like, baby, I'm not gonna be mad, but you spit it out. You're not being straight right now. And Zari's like, okay, mom, like, don't be upset, but the mother of my child is Arlene Cooper. And she's like, Arlene Cooper, that sounds very familiar. And she's like, I do believe that your dad married Maria Cooper, and Arlene is her daughter, your stepsister. So, obviously, this must be a different Arlene Cooper, right, baby? And Zari's like, no, mom, that's the one, that's the Arlene Cooper that is carrying my child. And so Sienna's trying to keep her cool. Internally, she's screaming. She's like, what in the world did my child do? Which is so funny, because this is like a little bit of a deja vu moment, because I do remember once upon a time a certain Sienna Everberry got pregnant and told her parents about it, and a certain Nora Everberry is like, what did my child do? So she's like, oh, heaven, mercy in the sky, mother, I get it now. I understand now why you freaked on me, and now my child is doing it to me. Well, at least Zari waited to be a young adult before doing something messy like this. So she just lets out a deep breath, and she's like, oh, okay, Zari, so You mean to tell me that you had a whirlwind romance with your stepsister? So Zari's like, Mom, she's not really my stepsister anymore. You know, Miss Ameria passed away a little bit ago, so we kind of don't even have that connection anymore. And Sienna's like, Zari, you must be kidding. You must be joking. You have to be joking, baby. Like, just because Miss Ameria passed away does not mean that you're not step siblings anymore. And he's like, well, Mom, maybe there's a technicality in there that doesn't stick, but there's no getting around the fact that Arlene and I didn't even grow up together. You know, Dad was an absentee parent. I barely ever went over to the house. So, I mean, I just don't see her that way. And she and I developed feelings for each other. And, you know, one thing led to another, and, you know, we're having a baby. And so he's like, Zeke, this is not the right time. You're over here barking, and, you know, we're over here trying to have where is Zeke? I'm over here trying to, like, put the camera on Zeke. There he is. He's like, Zeke, you know, quiet down, buddy. I'm trying to tell my mom about her child that's on the way. And she's like, okay, look, at the end of the day, is this exactly the news I wanted to hear, that you got your stepsister pregnant? Absolutely not, baby. But at the same time, I guess we can't change it now. Like, you and Arlene are having a baby. What's the plan? What's going on? And, you know, Zari's like, well, Mom, I proposed to her. And Sienna's like, you did what now? You proposed to her. He's like, yes, Mother, I did. I proposed to her because, I love her. I wanted to spend my life with her. And Sienna's like, wanted to. And he's like, yeah, she turned me down. She doesn't want us to get married. She thinks that we're too different. She says that eventually we'll resent each other if we got married because we want different things. I want to live out here in Strangerville and become an astronaut. And apparently Arlene wants to stay in San Myshuno and become a lounge singer. And Sienna's like, a lounge singer? Like, what the heck? This girl's about to be a mother, right? She wants to be a lounge singer? Like, and he's like, Mother, don't judge. Like, you know, that's her dream. And she said that this is our time. We should both be pursuing our dreams. And she's like, you know, there was a whole lot of lust and passion there, but we just don't have enough in common for it to make sense for us to get married. Even though, you know, I'm a little bit hurt by it. I still kind of did want to marry her. I have strong feelings for her mom, but I guess on some level, Arlene is right. Maybe I would resent her if I had to either give up on my dream and move to San Myshuno and not really have the things I want. And I would hate for her to resent me if I had her move out here and, you know, she wasn't happy. So that's where we're at. She turned down my proposal of marriage, and we're going to co-parent. You know, she and I are on good terms, and the most important thing for me right now is I want to make sure that my baby does not have the messed up, you know, family dynamic I had where, you know, that one of their parents is absentee and not around. I'm going to be there for my child, Mom. And so Sienna's like, look, baby. And she's over here texting Andre, like, Zari just told me that Arlene's carrying his baby. You and I need to talk later because this is crazy. And so she's like, okay, baby, like, co-parenting, good. That's good. I'm glad that you and Arlene are, you know, willing to have a co-parenting situation where you're both being mature about this. And I hope you do develop a plan where you could be in each other's lives for this child, because it's true. Your dad wasn't there like he was supposed to be for you, and it would be bad for you to have a child be brought up in a similar situation. So I'm proud that you are thinking this through in that sense. And, you know, what can I say, baby? I'm about to be a grandmother. It's Winterfest. I'm not going to be angry at you. It is what it is. I hope that this all comes together the way it's meant to. So, you know, it's out in the open now. It's out in the open. Sienna's just trying to look on the bright side. She's like, I'm too old for this whole thing to be stressing me out, and for me to just be sitting over here disappointed in my son on Winterfest. Would I have loved for him to, you know, have gotten married and then had a kid and kind of, you know, did it better than I did, where I had him and then, you know, I didn't end up with his dad, and that was tough on him. Of course I would have wanted that for him, but it's not that way. And all I can hope for at this point is that him and Arlene are able to amicably co-parent somehow with this baby, and he's able to, you know, have the life that he deserves and needs. It's not ideal, but I have to look on the bright side for him and, you know, for Arlene. So that's where she is with that. She's like, I look forward to the birth of the baby. I hope that I live long enough to see my grandchild. And Zari's like, Mom, don't say that. I'm sure you'll be around to see the baby. And she's like, there's just no telling. I'm older now, Zari. I could go at any time now, just like your granddad. And he's like, don't say that. Like, I really am hopeful that the baby will get here. You'll get to meet them and have a relationship with them. And, it'll be good. And Julien was quietly over here just kind of observing, and it's like, I can't believe this is exactly what I anticipated, that the baby actually is with him and Arlene, but I'm actually not going to say anything about how I suspected that, because I'm pretty sure it's just, going to cause problems, because he didn't actually tell Sienna what he saw on her birthday, because he's like, what, if I tell her, it's just going to work her up on her birthday, and I don't want her to have that. And he's like, well, shoot, if I tell her now, she'll be mad at me for not saying anything. So he's like, you know what, Zari, I'm wishing you and your future child the best. Who knew that, you and Arlene, wow. And Zari's like in the back of his mind thinking, like, I'm pretty sure Julien suspected, but I'm not going to put him in hot water between him and my mom. It's not really his fault. So he's like, yeah, who would have suspected, Julien? Who would have suspected? But we are going to end things right here. This was kind of like a talk-heavy episode as far as like it being based around a conversation. But like I said, that was the big reveal of the episode. Zari telling Sienna that she's about to be a grandmother. And honestly, I'm going to be real with you guys. Sienna doesn't have a lot of time left. So I'm probably going to tweak my settings a little bit. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is, I think I've mentioned this before for Not So Berry, that I run this save on a custom lifespan. It's not normal, but it's custom normal. And so my settings are tweaked to adjust to that, meaning the pregnancy is longer in my saves normally. I think I have it set to 9 days right now. But considering Sienna doesn't have a whole lot of time, I'm going to set the pregnancy back to the default length for this, you guys, and have it just be like, 3 days? So it gives Sienna enough time to meet her grandchild, because I don't want her to die without meeting Zari's baby. She won't, for any future babies, she won't get to meet them, but I want her to at least meet one of her grandchildren. She deserves that. So we're gonna go ahead and speed up Arlene's pregnancy so that Sienna can see him. So by next episode, Zari should be a father already, and Sienna should be passing through the pearly gates, because she's gonna be passing away, which is so sad. I am not ready, but it is what it is. Her generation's over. We have to let her go, just like we let Glade go. So let me know what you thought of this episode, you guys. Did you think that Sienna was going to take hearing the news about Zari being a father the way that she did? And what do you anticipate is going to go down between Zari and Arlene and this new baby? Do you think that it's possible that they could rekindle something, or is that just dead in the water because they both want different things? And what about the first baby of Greygen? Let me know if you have any baby names. I anticipate having Zari have a lot of kids, so even if I don't use the name for the baby that's coming, it's very possible that we could definitely use any name suggestions for future babies. So drop your great names in the comment section down below. I would love to hear it. But as always, guys, stay safe, stay healthy, and of course, stay dazzled. I will see you in the next one. Bye. Never be cool with the cool kids, but look who's laughing now. I'll never fit in with